You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different, still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments, doesn't mean I don't need you.
Hi, welcome back to Bound and Unraveled. My name is Christina, and for this week's video, we're going to read a series of dreamy books. Now, stay with me as I explain this idea. I associate the summer with lots of kind of open space and open time, like lying on my back as a kid, staring up at a whirring fan during a really long afternoon, lying on a beach as an adult, and having an unusual opportunity to just do nothing and kind of exist in that space between being awake and being asleep and letting my mind just stretch, or sitting out on a porch or a terrace and just listening to the crickets chirping and again letting myself daydream. Especially the end of the summer is kind of a liminal space. I associate all of these things with kind of dreaminess, like being able to exist in that liminal space between reality and the absurd or murky places that our minds can inhabit and can explore. And so I thought it would be fun to choose a few books that I think capture that wonder and fantasy that exists in dreams. Okay, if none of that made sense, I hope you'll still enjoy this summer week and these, book selections. And if you did get what I'm saying, I hope you'll kind of go with me into dreamland and that together we can explore some of those in-between spaces. So for our first book, I went to Barnes & Noble and just acquired Shark Heart by Emily Habeck. And from the back of the book it says, "For Louis and Ren, their first year of marriage is also their last. A few weeks after their wedding, Louis receives a rare diagnosis. He will retain most of his consciousness, memories, and intellect, but his physical body will gradually transform into a great white shark." At first, Ren resists accepting her husband's fate. Then a glimpse of Louis's developing carnivorous nature activates long-repressed memories for Ren, whose story vacillates between her childhood, her time with a college girlfriend, and her unusual friendship with a woman pregnant with twin birds. Woven throughout is the story of Ren's mother, Angela, who becomes pregnant with Ren at 15 in an abusive relationship. In the present, all of Ren's grief rises to the surface, and she makes an impossible choice. Okay, based on that blurb and that premise, this is not usually a book I would pick up. However, I saw Lexi, aka Newly Nova, gave this stellar review on her channel. I think this was one of her favorite books of the last year, and the idea of a man who's becoming a shark, I think, quite perfectly fits the idea of something that might come to us as we're kind of falling asleep. So I've just had some soup and made myself a peppermint tea, and I'm gonna sit and we're gonna start Shark Heart together. So I will check in with you a little later once we've started reading. Hello again. It is Wednesday, so it's been a couple days, and I've finished Shark Heart by Emily Habeck. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. This was overall a bit of a letdown. I kind of experienced the emotion and I could tell what parts were supposed to be like playing on my heartstrings, but at a bit of a distance. It kind of felt like it was happening, but off somewhere else, not in an overwhelming wave within my body. So at the heart of the story, we have this married couple, Ren and Louis, and Louis is the one who's turning into a shark, and Ren is his wife, who's kind of experiencing the loss of her husband. Their story was interesting, but I just kind of struggled to connect with either of them. But then the second section follows Ren's mom, Angela, and it would be a spoiler to discuss kind of details of that, but her section was the closest I came to feeling a bit teary-eyed. It's a really interesting premise, but the execution of it also involves a lot of it reads really quickly. It's a lot of pages with just like tiny bits of text and sometimes experimentally placed. So some of those where it moves down the page, and I just never really get that all that much. I'm not much of a poetry reader either way, so that just doesn't tend to work for me as much. I don't know that I'm necessarily the ideal reader for this book. And also the subject matter. I think that this is a really interesting way to think about grief. This idea of someone we love transforming into another being or another existence, and we can't follow them there, and we kind of have to grapple with that. I think for somebody who has more direct experience of grief, this could resonate a lot more. I'm very lucky that I haven't gone through a lot of direct grief, so maybe that's also part of why for me this just didn't hit as much. And I can totally see how maybe at a different point in my life rereading this book would be a lot more meaningful. If you've read it and you also were a little bit underwhelmed, please let me know so that I know I'm not alone and I'm not just like heartless. Thanks. And our next book is going to be Perfume by Patrick Suskind. I think this was originally written in German. I have the Spanish copy, which I'm a big fan of because my dad gave this to my mom in 1992. As far as I've heard, I think it's about this man who kills women because he's obsessed with their smell and tries to make perfume out of them. Again, not the kind of book I would usually be drawn towards, but I've heard that it's really good. I feel like Shark Heart was maybe more of a sentimental, melancholic, fantastical kind of dream I would have. This sounds more like a nightmare. So I guess let's go experience a beautifully written nightmare together, hopefully. Let's get reading. Hello! It has been multiple days. Once again, I was a little delinquent this week with my reading. But we have finished Perfume, and this was a very odd book. Okay, look, so things that I did not like. The overarching themes were just smell. And kind of the commentary on the odd historical time period that he was living in. But I didn't feel like I knew what we were supposed to take away, if anything, or if this was just supposed to be funny, which kind of leads into the things I liked. Like, there were parts of this that actually were funny to me. I liked the historical commentary and the reflections on the absurdity of humanity and of trying to disguise ourselves and elevate ourselves into these more sophisticated beings when at the end of the day we are kind of just like humans who are animals who exist in the world, and like animals are guided by our senses, and kind of all of our social hierarchies and all of our institutions and everything don't take away that we are just at the end of the day creatures who exist in this world. So I appreciated that, and again, some parts of it felt a little bit like tongue-in-cheek and reminded me in some ways of Dickens and the way that he commented on different time periods. Obviously, this is different. I think it was published in 1985, but it's set in the 18th century. I will say otherwise, the writing style was interesting. I never thought that much about different smells. So the descriptions there were fascinating, and the way that people dress and the way that he describes the city and everything, but I didn't feel like it transported me that much. I'm curious to hear what other people's thoughts are on this and what they enjoy about this book and why they think that this has become such a classic. So that was Perfume by Patrick Suskind. I just watched back what I just recorded, and I just want to say that what I meant about Perfume is that because it's a book about a serial killer who particularly seeks out pubescent women slash girls, really, for their smells and then kills them and like takes them apart and doesn't really see them in any way as human, I personally would have enjoyed getting a little bit more of a sense that I left with an idea of why. Like, why are we pursuing this story about a man who just dehumanizes women and reduces them to their most base parts? Maybe the commentary is that, like, we're reading this whole story about a man who does that. But I just feel like I've got enough media input of men dehumanizing women. So the reason I'm kind of mid on this is that I don't feel like I left with more. Anyway, I hope that makes more sense. Again, if you've read Perfume and you have more of an analysis of it, please do share it. I'm very curious and I will be looking at other reviews for this. But for now, I'm just kind of like, yeah, another story about men dehumanizing and committing violence against women. Like, okay, that's it. And the final book is going to be Strange the Dreamer. We're going to go get a copy today. It's Friday, so I'm really pushing my luck with this. I am not sure that I'll manage to finish this. I guess you'll find out shortly with me whether or not I do. Where it is. Where is it though? The one ahead of this one.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Oh, that was interesting.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
I love the sound of this.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Hi again. So we're back home, and as you may have seen or are about to see, this afternoon went a bit differently than was expected. But for now, I decided to just end the reading for this video here. We went to the Dali Museum afterwards, and that was mega dreamy and very weird and a wonderful experience. And with that, we'll end the video. I'm really excited about our next video, for which we did pick up some books. And to give you a sneak peek, we're going to be getting ready for fall and autumnal back to school vibes with reading. So thanks again for coming along. This was a bit of an odd video, but I guess that kind of goes with the theme. And I will catch you very soon in the next video. Thanks again for spending the time. Bye!